2025 new build. Checking the receptacles.
Do not buy new construction.
You gotta love it when you pull up to a new build like the one behind me and the project manager already has all the doors opened up and he comes out and he says, I don't even know why the client ordered a home inspection, but she's all yours. Let's see if this house is in good a shape as he thinks it is.
So today we're going to be taking a look at new construction because, oh man, does it look like it's only gotten worse. We have an unlimited amount of these inspection videos being uploaded every single day going over these horrible builds. We have the builders of the homes not being able to sell them as fast as they're putting them up. And then we have the same companies threatening and taking these inspectors to court when they are literally just doing their job. You can't make this kind of stuff up even if you tried. We have a ton of stuff to go over today along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below, but let's just jump right into it.
2025 new build. Checking the receptacles.
This is a new home. Rain. Upstairs floor receptacle. Didn't quite get that installed. Pocket. Deadbolt does not engage all the way. That's because it's too shallow behind the latch plate. A large hole here by the exterior disconnect. I just filled it with silicone. Tried to cover it with a little bit of mortar, but that's just coming off. The gas meter, the bonding clamp is just loose. Bonding conductor needs to be attached right there. Just laying it on top doesn't quite do it. Okay, so I'm going to be saying this a lot during the video, but we're only a part of the way through this clip. Everything that we go over is much longer than what I'm showing you. Way more problems. It really is amazing how many of these builders think they could get away with stuff like this. We can go over to the comments. I've been watching these TikTok home inspection videos for several years. I've learned one thing: do not buy a house made after 2019. I'd really say in the past 20 years as well, but the past 5 has definitely gotten worse. And talking about the first clip, if they got a simple task wrong, I can't imagine what the framing is like. Good luck. 130,000 likes on that comment. There's no pride in work anymore, and do contractors actually have to fix these issues? And with that comment, we could go over to the next clip.
Oh boy, this is one of those houses, and the client knows. The client actually wanted me to shoot a video on this. So I'm in Dallas. Sorry for the hair. It's windy and rainy. I'm in Dallas. This is my 3rd time at this property. I came out maybe a month and a half ago for the initial inspection. All kinds of stuff wrong with this house, like crazy stuff that a brand new house shouldn't have. Bedrooms without windows that would open, stairways without handrails. I'm currently on the roof and there is no roof ventilation at all. They have blown fiberglass insulation. They have no soffit venting, no upper deck venting. No way for the attic to breathe. The reason why I'm up here is we have a roof leak into the bedroom. She just closed, she just moved in. We have a roof leak into the bedroom right here, and I'm guessing it's coming from one of those 2 penetrations, but there's no obvious water leak. So here's the roof leak.
So there's your answer to the last comment. He's been at this house 3 times, and there's still a ton of problems. Again, we're only about a quarter of the way through this clip, and the person still closed on the build, a $500,000 home. I really don't know what to say. Why on earth did they close on the home? I don't know. I found out the morning of this inspection. She saw all that and still closed. The house is a money pit. I'd never buy new construction, unskilled labor, and not a care in the world. On the other side of it, maybe a little bit of a silver lining. With how terrible the job market is right now, it seems like if you're an inspector, your hands are full. You got plenty of work. We got a comment here from you guys. This isn't shoddy work. This has reached the point of fraud. And now we're starting to get a lot of clips like this, people dealing with the consequences.
Do not buy new construction. I repeat, do not buy a home that is new construction. I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. I bought a home roughly 7.5 years ago from the company D.R. Horton. One of the worst building, development companies there is out there. They put these homes up fast and cheap. So I bought a home from D.R. Horton, brand new home. It was a townhouse and was the first one on the block to purchase a home. First ones on the block. They offered an incentive they usually do under new construction to pay majority of the closing costs, which is the reason why I went for it, because that closing costs can get expensive. And this was in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, so very expensive. So they were paying offering to pay majority of the closing costs. So went with them, and it was new construction. 2, maybe 3 years in, house already has a major plumbing problem.
Okay, so a couple things. We'll hear about the incentives later in this video. Definitely a red flag in my book now. And I know I'm a broken record. We're only a fraction away through this video. This was a long clip with a whole plethora of issues from D.R. Horton Homes. And now this guy's stuck dealing with it all on his own. If I've learned anything from TikTok, it's not to buy a D.R. Horton home and Kia and Hyundai vehicles. Don't forget Ryan Homes as well. They started on Monday and I drive by again on Wednesday and it's fully built. Cardboard and toothpick houses. Also, let's talk about HOAs. I rent new construction and I'm convinced it's made out of vanilla wafers. Another comment from you guys goes well with this. My brother works in insurance and he said they no longer insure D.R. Horton homes because of the 7% of their homes they insured had house fires, which is significantly above the average home. That adds yet another layer of safety issues with these houses. We got even more on screen. I purchased a brand new home from Lennar Estate, supposedly higher quality than I guess Lennar Homes 2 years ago, and this happened. Lennar stated this will not be covered on the warranty due to lack of maintenance. What type of maintenance would prevent this? It's like when State Farm denied my claim for a foundation issue due to lack of maintenance in my foundation. Was I supposed to dig up my yard every year and water my foundation or something? Lennar is becoming a very bad builder. I would push back. This has nothing to do with maintenance. That's poor build quality. In your 20s, there'll be D.R. Horton homes that look perfect from the street. It's very important that you don't lean on the walls. The description of this clip is, well, all jokes, but wow, you could hear everything in these new builds. Another clip when the builder told you 3 years ago that they weren't going to build any more homes behind you. I don't know how you trust anything they say, especially if you live in the middle of an open field. Most likely they're going to try to pack as many homes, townhouses, single family homes, apartment buildings as they possibly can next to where you live. I see it all the time where I live, and I bet a whole bunch of people do across the country as well.
You gotta love it when you pull up to a new build like the one behind me and the project manager already has all the doors opened up and he comes out and he says, I don't even know why the client ordered a home inspection, but she's all yours. Let's see if this house is in good a shape as he thinks it is. It's one thing to have some shrinkage cracking or some chipped concrete at the corner or some more chipped concrete at the other corner. Exposed anchor bolts at the exterior foundation. That's where I draw the line. But an exposed plumbing drain line at the exterior foundation, there's no way we can let that fly. Here's the sewer clean out at the neighbor's house. See the S? Here's the sewer clean out at our house. It's extended too high, so we can't put a cover here. We're gonna have to cut that pipe down. Seeing some daylight at this back door.
Okay, so we're cutting it there. I just can't wrap my head around these builders thinking that they're going to get away with all of this kind of stuff. I bet they would if they used an in-house inspector that's in the pockets of the real estate companies, the builders. They'll just walk through the house, check all the boxes, and everything's good to go. But I don't know. I feel like if I was in the industry, I'd probably recognize a lot of these inspectors because they have pretty big followings on TikTok, and I know that I wouldn't get away with all of this kind of crap. Low quality materials, low quality craftsmanship, and a high price. The American way. Again, 100,000 likes. It's insane how bad American houses are. The sad part is that people are expected to pay several $100,000 for a house like this. I knew it the moment he said he had all the doors open for you. I knew it was because the doors couldn't close. Oh man.
You probably shouldn't buy a new build house until you've thought through all 5 of these things. The first one is how long you plan to live there, because you're going to need to live there at least 5 years, maybe more, to even be able to turn a profit when you eventually sell it. Number 2 is all the things that you don't know the new build doesn't include. Most people like new construction because they think that it means that they won't have any large home expenditures for several years. But did you know that new builds almost never come with any kind of window coverings whatsoever? Not even any of those cheap apartment blinds. So you're gonna have to pay to install those all yourself after closing at your cost. Number 3 is there are very limited options on the part of town you get to live in. When I work with buyers that come here from out of town, they tell me that they want new construction and they tell me the parts of town they want to live in. And I need to let them know that those parts of town, unfortunately, are almost always already built out and that they're going to need to go farther out into the outskirts of town to find new construction communities. Number 4 is the salespeople in the office have a fiduciary responsibility to the builder, not to you. They'll make it seem like you don't need a realtor at all, and technically you don't, but if you don't know all the right things to ask on your own behalf, that could be a mistake. Number 5, did you know that you can and should get your own independent inspections separate from the home builder? The sales office is going to tell you that you don't need to pay for your own individual inspector because they have quality control inspectors come throughout the process. But what they don't tell you is that those people are employed by the home builder.
We got several things to go over. The first one saying that you'd have to live in the house at least 5 years to be able to make a profit when you sell the house. I don't know about that anymore, especially when we see some data a little bit later in this video. And the money pit these homes become. Even if you do sell it for more money than you bought it, you probably put a lot of money in the house just to keep it all together. Then you have to compete with the rest of the neighborhood with all the other cookie cutter houses or townhomes that look the exact same. It makes it way harder for yours to stand out. Another thing that I thought was crazy, people wanting a new build and trying to pick where it would be built without actually going there. Just signing on the dotted line and being on the hook for hundreds of thousands of dollars before the home is even built, or you know where the area it's going to be in. That seems insane to me. And then some other issues that we already knew: hire your own inspector. The one that the builders use are just in the pockets of those companies, and you need to know the right questions to ask, or they're just going to completely gloss over it, and then it's your problem. We got another comment from you guys right here: the quality of the houses goes down as the prices keep climbing up. Crazy times we live in. Well, I think social media has really opened many people's eyes to these new builds, along with the sheer amount of them they're building, because now we're starting to see a lot of stats like this come out.
DFW's housing boom just slammed on the brakes. Thousands of brand new homes are sitting empty right now, and builders are panicking. Construction's down nearly 20%, and even with mortgage rates dipping near 6%, buyers have vanished. Builders are throwing everything at the wall: free upgrades, price cuts, incentives, but it's not working. There are more than 12,000 finished homes collecting dust and over 100,000 lots waiting for buyers who may never come. Experts say DFW has flipped from housing shortage to a housing surplus, and with job growth slowing way down, 2026 could get ugly.
Any native Texan know that a lot of these builders are building houses worth $250,000 to $300,000, but they're pricing it for $1.5 million. Let them sit empty and rot. They created this mess with overpriced homes. Too bad they haven't tried quality builds. I don't know anyone who trusts new construction. Cost of living in Dallas-Fort Worth has increased by 30% between 2020 to 2024, and local salaries haven't kept up. Housing market needs a correction. The increased supply can help, but it's going to take a lot longer. And because these problems are popping up all over the country, we see incentives all the time.
The reason why the interest rates are so much lower on new construction is because the builders can't sell those houses. And I get this question all the time: why is new construction so much less? And the answer is pretty simple. So when a builder starts a development, they say we're going to deliver 100 homes and we're going to sell them for $600,000 each. They start selling the homes. Initially, they offer very little incentives. Very little incentives towards cash to close, and they don't offer lower interest rates. You just get what you get. Now, if they're going through the development and all of a sudden they can't sell the houses, they're kind of in a tough spot because they've sold, let's say, suppose half the houses for $600,000. If they can only sell the houses now for $550,000, they can't lower the price from $600,000 to $550,000 without devaluing everything that they've sold in the neighborhood. It really puts them in a situation where they'll piss a lot of people off. So what they do is they do something a little sneaky, but it's not illegal. They go to the lender and say, hey, these houses, we're listing them for $600,000. How much is it going to cost us to offer a ridiculously low rate, a rate that's 2, maybe 3 points below the market? The lender says, okay, rates are now 6%. We're going to give you a 4% rate, but you're going to have to pay us $25,000 for that upfront.
So if they're doing this all for sales just to get people into these homes, how cheap is it really to construct all these from start to finish? I highly doubt it means it's quality work, along with the lack of appreciation on the real estate down the road.
Because when the builders keep building, your 2-year-old home isn't just competing with other resales. It's now competing with brand new homes, fresh designs, new warranties, and sometimes lower monthly payments thanks to builder incentives. So even if your home is beautiful, even if you got a great deal when you bought, buyers may still choose new. Not because your home is bad, but because the competition is just relentless. And this is the part most people never get told. A good deal on the way in doesn't guarantee an easy exit later, especially in areas where construction, it seems to just never stop.
So I know the sentiment has changed in the past few years, but so many people would tell you to put your money into real estate. It appreciated a ton during COVID, basically making everything overpriced, and because of that, the market has been stagnant for the past few years. It is incredibly unlikely for your home value to double in the next 10 years, especially if you're buying one of these new builds that look like everybody else. So it really seems like the days of making easy money on real estate are over. We got another comment from you guys right here. My main problem, aside from the quality, is the tiny lots they're built on. Every window looking into your neighbor's house. Barely a yard, even if there is one, absolutely no privacy. High HOAs, and they're usually more square footage than I need, and I'm sure not going to pay for the utilities for what I don't need. We have a perfect example of that with this clip.
Okay guys, so we get to see this up close in person. The new neighborhood that's being built in our area. And we went in and looked at a few. But look how tiny this area is from this home. One home, two homes. Like, come on. Who really want to be that close? That just don't make no sense.
I feel like the only reason for that is so they could technically say it's a single family home, because overall they're more valuable than townhomes, but that's basically what you're getting if you're buying in this area. You could barely walk in between those two houses. I mean, that's ridiculous. Another good point right here, it's not because of population issues, it's because of profit. If they're wedged right next to each other, they can make even more of them. One fire will quickly turn into two, no way I'd ever buy there. Can't even do repairs, yeah, honestly. That's a duplex, might as well attach them together, that's what I was saying. And even with all the problems we've gone over in this video, they are relentless, constantly building more and more.
They do not stop building these apartments. Everywhere you look across the US, you see brand new apartment buildings everywhere. And what's crazy is these landlords are cutting the rent. We just had the worst month for rent growth in the US in over 15 years. And now they're reporting that demand is dropping. So what are they doing still building so many of these apartments here? I'm south of Nashville. There's new construction going on everywhere. You look, they're giving 1 month, 2 month, 3 months free rent. There's no way these landlords are actually making money on these investment properties, yet they're still building them. And here's a secret that they don't want you to know. You can negotiate with them. If they try to increase your rent on renewal and you live in a city like Nashville or Austin or Denver or Dallas or Phoenix or Las Vegas where rents are dropping, you can negotiate and get a better deal or find a better apartment for a cheaper price.
Now I know most people realize today that it's probably better to rent than to buy an overpriced house in 2026. And I mean, if you're looking for a place, maybe one of these new construction builds won't be that bad, because when things start falling apart, it's not your problem, it's the landlord's. Along with rent going down in many places in the country, you could probably be paying significantly less than you'd own. And again, you wouldn't be dealing with issues like this.
This is what I am currently using to heat my whole house.
After months of no heat, no air, this homeowner has reached his wit's end. You see those signs he's put out outside his home? He told me that it's just been a back and forth with the builder on repairs to get the system up and working. We're going to try to get to a bottom of it and see if we can't get him some kind of resolution.
Not surprised, these developers are just throwing up homes in Nashville. How did it pass inspection to move in? Who's the builder? $500,000 for a townhome is outrageous. I'm confused. If he bought the home, did he not have a home inspection done? Is that not part of it? There's replies to this. Clearly it was working and then it stopped after he moved in. Just like the earlier clip with the guy saying you should not buy D.R. Horton homes, major issues started popping up just a couple years in. And then the next comment actually threw me off. You can actively watch videos on here and channels like mine that cover issues like this. Just because you got a home inspector doesn't mean you actually got a proper one. There's builders who actually just build terrible homes. And now we can get into a little bit more of the issues inspectors are dealing with. The craziest parts are when you hear how many companies threaten inspectors. We've gone over this clip recently on the channel and have actually seen this inspector's videos, but Taylor Morrison Home took this guy to court saying that he was bullying and harassing the company for legitimately just making TikToks of all the issues in the house. He was just just doing his job. And surprise, surprise, with how bad these builds are, he's got a lot of content. So they tried to take him to court to silence him, but gladly got shut down. It's amazing that they try to pull stuff like this instead of actually improving their product. Some of the comments, he's literally just doing his job. The concept of a multi-million-dollar company being bullied by just this one guy in his TikToks. I mean, it's just amazing to me.
Here's what you can get for $872,000, southeastern Wisconsin. Exposed nail heads on the new roof. No sealant installed on these nails. And this plumbing boot has already been cut or ripped before anyone's even moved into the house. Looks like someone was a little rough with these roof trusses when they were unloading the truck and installing them. No big deal, it's only the roof structure. Pretty sure you're not supposed to be able to see light coming up from the garage when you have a shared attic space with the whole house. Can't get fresh air into this attic if you plug all the soffit vents up with insulation. No anti-tip bracket on the new stove. I'm asking for a friend, but I don't think walls have to be straight anymore. I think it's the new standard for luxury builds to have this nice wavy look to it. What do you think?
And this is what you get for almost $900,000. We could truly sit here and watch this for hours on end, but I'm not trying to make this video super long. We're just gonna finish on this one.
I never understood why we stopped siding houses. No, seriously, we don't put plywood on the sides of houses anymore. We use like basically the equivalent to cardboard. It's really strong cardboard, but it's basically cardboard. Don't believe me? Look, check it out. Look, see? They put that on, they staple it on there. Bop, bop, bop. Right? And then they put the siding on. So your racking strength comes from your siding. Which, I don't know, it's weird. I know they're just trying to cut costs and stuff, but this has been going on for a while. I don't like it. I mean, you literally have sheetrock, insulation, piece of cardboard, siding. And the siding's usually this new fiber cement board, which isn't the strongest stuff either. But I don't know, it's interesting. I know when I go build my next house, I'm using either plywood or zip panels. I know that for a fact. I don't know. What's your thoughts on it?
And they're $700,000. I would never buy a house built after 2000. Mold is becoming a huge issue as well. Standards need to be higher. I'm not paying $800,000 plus for a home just to get sick from mold. They're building temporary homes because that's all it's gonna be. And we'll finish off with a comment from you guys. This is planned obsolescence for houses now. The whole world is designed for people to not get ahead financially. They make a very good point with how bad basically everything has gotten, just trying to squeeze every last dime out of you 24/7. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.